So I had one of my dope supporters reach out to me on my website, asksealz.com. And she basically just asked me like, yo, Sealz, what is the process? What does it look like when a decent man claims a woman? And I'm not talking about claiming in a predatory way, psychotic way. I'm not saying like you're mine. We're not talking about that. She asked in a simple, healthy way, what does it look like when a decent man knows she's the one? What does it look like when he chooses? And then I started to think about the difference between a dude who just sees a hot woman and just says like, yo, I need that. She bad. I likes that. There are different mindsets between that because that mindset can be of lust, greed, excitement. But when a decent man wants a decent thing, when he's looking for something, when he's being intentional, the mindset is different. He's not just thinking of her physical excitement, but he's automatically thinking about his presence with her and his future. It is a more serious investment planning in our head. There is a difference. A lot of you women out there who are in dope relationships with your boyfriend or amazing marriages with your amazing man don't even understand that you were claimed well before you said I do. You were claimed well before you accepted his request to be in a relationship with him. That man was claiming you. He told everybody, he told himself that you were his well before you even knew. And in this mental claiming by us men, there are always signs to show this. And because I love talking about positive manhood and the mind of healthy men, I'm going to talk about the physical shifts that often tells that a man has started handling you differently inside of here. Not just for play, but serious. He starts to move and position himself with your safety in mind. Physical positioning, situational awareness, future thinking. All three of those things are what decent men, solid men think about when he has a woman by his side, when he has a woman in consideration, and especially when he is with that woman in public places. One of the worst things I hate is when a man fights or gets into a fight with another man over something completely avoidable, something stupid, and now he's putting the woman that he's with in danger. And I hate to hear people say, oh, a man needs to act like this when someone steps up or says something to his woman or comes a certain way. He needs to be braggadocious and on bully mode. He needs to protect his woman in this way. But people don't understand is that sometimes protection is in his silence. Sometimes your own protection is shutting your mouth. And if there are words used, sometimes the minimal words will get you out of situations, especially as a man with my woman, than saying a lot of loud words or aggressive words will do. I am a strong believer that if I'm with my woman, I will never put her in a position of danger by running my mouth, by acting all tough, because I act like I gotta show out, because people say I gotta show out to protect my woman, to show how big and masculine I am. That is one of the dumbest things, unwise things, immature things that you can do as a man, because now you are putting your loved one in danger. I will always believe that, and I will always disagree with anyone who believes the opposite. Masculinity is about the power within, not what comes out of my mouth. Real talk. Because when I claim my woman, mentally, I am saying she is mine. I want her. And therefore, I got to protect her like a gem, like treasure, like the leprechaun finding the lucky charms at the end of the rainbow. This woman is valuable to me. Therefore, I cannot put danger on this woman, near this woman, around this woman. So positioning myself in certain situations, when I am in a position with her and things go awry or they go bad, I need to position my mind in a mature and strategical way to get her out of danger, because her safety is in consideration. Because when a man is serious, he often will start to place himself between the woman and any possible threat, any possible danger, and any possibility of it happening. When a man invites danger, when he invites threats, when he allows the enemy to come in, that is not your man. And he is all for himself. And it's funny because when this man claims you, when this decent, upstanding, honorable man claims you mentally, everything else changes in his body. And sometimes he doesn't even understand or even aware of how protective he is of you. It almost happens automatically. Like how we breathe, without thinking, with how our heart beats without our control. A man's instinct is to protect his woman when he claims her mentally and emotionally, but it happens in the physical realm. Sometimes he is not aware of these tendencies because it is natural to him now. The second point is that his touch becomes more guiding than it is grabbing. To guide is different from grabbing. We can even step out of the romantic sphere of this thing, right? When you have a child, there's a difference between that child acting up or doing something he or she is not supposed to do and you guiding him or her versus you grabbing him or her. I'm not saying either one is bad or good, but there is a physical and mental difference in how that child will take that. The same applies to how a man will treat his woman, because guiding leads to guidance, learning, a lesson, like, oh, okay, while grabbing is more physical, aggressive, forceful. A decent man is going to want to show his woman a lesson, let her learn, show her why, instead of forcing a lesson on her or forcing his perspective on something. My woman is not my slave, she is my partner. And just like how kids are taught things, just like how I was taught things, I learned more as a kid from my mom or my grandmother, my grandfather guiding me than I did when they snatched me up. Because snatching me up, grabbing me invoked fear. But when they guided me and they taught me and they showed me why what I did was wrong, I learned something. I gained appreciation from that education. There's a difference between the two. When a man places his hand on you, on your back, on your shoulder, on your arm, gently, talks to you softly, digestibly, when he guides you through a doorway or guides you through a crowd, he checks for your comfort, touches you in a way that feels grounded. There's a difference between that and grabbing a woman, pulling her through a crowd, telling her to be led by his way without knowledge or why he's doing this, treating her like she's not a partner. A man's touch is a telling sign on how he sees you. When a decent man claims a woman, he becomes more aware of her reactions. Now, this is the opposite of selfishness. Now I understand it is not just about me, because when I claimed this woman mentally in my head, I said, you know what? I would die for this woman. Her protection, her safety is all that matters to me. In order for that to happen, I have to put myself in front of her. I have to be in between her and any threat. I got to be her emotional support when she's going through things. Sometimes I got to put aside my own situation to make sure that she's okay. Not saying that I have to totally sacrifice the things that I'm going through or struggling with to help her, but I do know as her protector, as her man, as her leader, I do need to be there for her. Decent men understand that. That is common sense for us. And what I want women to especially understand is that when you are with a dude who is of the opposite thinking, I want you to think about how that makes you feel. Do you feel like a partner? Do you feel like y'all hand in hand? Do you feel like it's beneficial for you? Because a serious man tracks your well-being. He is aware of your reactions. This decent man starts thinking, damn, did that just make you tense? Are you okay? I'm sorry, did that overwhelm you? I just want to ask, did that land badly? I just noticed your face shifted a little bit. Is everything okay? That man understands that this is what the face of care looks like when a healthy-minded man claims you. Because a man who starts taking a woman seriously not just figures out and try to find out how he feels or what's going on with him, but what his presence is doing to you. The effect that your current situations are having on you. How is your world, especially combined with mine, affecting you? I'm all invested. I'm in it. That man is thinking about that. When a man mentally claims a woman, he physically slows down around you. I'm going to put y'all on a little something, a little telltale sign that I feel like all women should understand and know and be aware of. And you know, I created this channel for my 2 young nieces. I definitely want them to understand too. Speed and rushness is not a sign of care, because care takes time. Care is of patience. Just the sheer ability to wait and breathe and sometimes repeat yourself is a sign of care. It reminds me of teachers. I know me when I was in high school, when I was in middle school, probably elementary too. I was a class clown. If anybody out there believe I have charisma, it is because of those old days. I built that from detention, being a class clown, and trying to be the funny guy. Don't tell my mom that. But it made me who I am today. But anyway, I knew the teachers that cared about me, because those specific teachers, no matter how clownish I was acting in class, no matter how much I wasn't paying attention, they saw the value in me. They saw the potential in me. And because of that, they repeated themselves. They had patience with me. They took a deep breath and they waited for me. They would say something and they would say it again and they would say it again and they would reiterate it because they cared. Because if they didn't care and they saw how foolish I was acting, they would have kept it moving. You know what? That boy is a lost cause. I don't have time for this. I don't get paid enough for this. If you want to act like that, so be it. Goodbye. But there were a specific group of teachers that truly cared for me. And I thank them to this day because without those type of teachers, there ain't no telling, man. They didn't give up on me. And because of that, I didn't give up on myself eventually. They were patient with me because they cared. They slowed things down for me because they cared. They slowed their ways of teaching me because they cared. And the same applies to decent men, serious men about you. They're going to slow down themselves. Because when we are single, when a lot of us are single, we are fast, reckless, impulsive, aggressive, rushing all over the place. But when we claim a woman mentally, when we say, oh man, I have a great thing right now. I got to take my time with this. I got to take my time with her. I really got to give her tender care. She is fragile. I got to treat her as such. You have to slow things down like that. If I'm walking with a box of fragile wine glasses, I can't be rushing it because it increases the probability that I will fall and bust my butt along with those wine glasses. Because I do not want to break those wine glasses, I am going to take my time. I am walking. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. I'll get there when I get there because I can't break this. The same applies. A man treats you like a wine glass. If he doesn't, you know what it is from your guy Sealz the man. When that man claims that woman, she matters. And because she matters, a serious man often starts moving like he doesn't want to mishandle her. Doesn't want to mishandle the moment. Speed often belongs to excitement. Slowness often belongs to care. And just like my supporter that I brought up in the beginning of the video that went to my website, if you want to get my take on your situation, come to my website at asksealz.com and we could talk about it. And the last thought I'm going to leave with you on this video is that a man could claim you mentally, but his actions and his intention needs to follow that claim. It is always bigger than the words. It is always bigger than the thoughts. Thank y'all for being here. I will catch you on my next video. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.